Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gritty Hour. I'm here with my usual cohort, Sean E. Boy. How are you, Sean E. Boy?
I'm doing good, T. How you doing, man?
All right. And we have a very special guest today, John McDonald, who works at Central Press, which is literally right behind the location we're at at the Millbrook Antique Center. So John is what would you call yourself? He wears many hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My full-time gig is printing pressman, finishing, cutting, all the goodies that we do at Central Press. I'm the guy that does all the production work.
Central Press does it does a lot of the print work, especially for some of the local, like when you have brochures or whatever in the hospitals. And it'd be nice if I turn this thing on. We're having technical, as usual, Shawnee Boy.
Yeah. We got this.
Many technical difficulties, but Central Press does a lot of the printing work that you see in your hospitals or schools, brochures, business cards, posters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do all of that stuff, and they've been around for many, many years.
1888.
1888.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been there that long.
John was much younger then, but he came in as a rookie then.
I was like, wow, you're probably a vampire then if you look like this.
So what is your usual clientele over there?
It's really a mixed bag. We do anything from, Joe Blow, lawnmower service, right up to big hospital systems. Really, a lot. We do a lot of the local hospital stuff, and we don't get too involved with any of their display kind of stuff. A lot of what we do is marketing, a lot of the mailings, things of that nature, a lot of fundraising kind of stuff, which has been off all around the world because of COVID, of course. Nobody's doing $10,000 dinner nights. But we do a lot of custom stuff too. We have, the area that we live in is a very robust area for horses and farms and things like that. And they have lots of events and they have lots of needs as well. And we do anything from traditional ink on paper right up to high-end digital printing. And we still do letterpress, which is the old smash in printing.
I was going to ask you
that. Some guys still set all the little letters by hand. We don't do that. That's for guys that really like to abuse their.
That's
themselves.
what my father did.
Yeah.
For the New York Post, he printed the front and back page for 32 years.
No kidding.
All typesetting.
Yeah, I don't get it. I used to do that. Thankfully, we don't do that anymore with technology's made it. We just email a company in New Jersey and they send it all back in one chunk. But we still do that. We use that machine every day. We've got a 1951 Heidelberg windmill that works as good as a day. Hit the showroom floor.
Wow. Why would
and they have? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why would people want to print the old traditional way? Like, is there a benefit to it, or it's just a style?
It's really the style. Some people like that that old school look. It definitely looks different than something that's going to come off of a digital printer or a copier, and it actually gets pushed into the sheet, and you can see that and you can feel that. And they make papers that accentuate that, like 100% cotton papers that really are very spongy, and you can get a good push. It just has a completely unique look to it. You can tell it's older. You can tell this is not something that, somebody hit a button and it came out of a machine in 10 seconds. A lot of work goes into it, and it's kind of a specialty. It's really become an art form at this point because there's not a lot of people that do it. In fact, more people do it in their garage as a hobby for, stationery or their church program or something. More people do it that way than commercially.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm just going to move this over because this is our first attempt at Zencaster with a human being that isn't you or I, Sean. So I want to make sure John is in the picture.
John should.
I was explaining to him
he's
about the propping there. Huh?
I said he's the star today. He should probably be.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah.
As an Irishman, but he is a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Rim shot. But anyway,
Well, I'm half guinea.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Guess which half?
And cut.
I told you he wears many hats. John is also he knows everything there is to know about tattooing, um, body art, and he actually is a practitioner of um, piercings, body piercings. So tell us a little bit about that. How'd you get
Okay.
into that, first of all?
It's kind of a weird path. My older sister worked at the mall, at one of those little boutiques and shooting people's ears with guns all day long. And for some reason, I was fascinated by it. If we were in the mall and she was working, I just want to stand there and watch. I don't know where that came from. And I was probably 12 or 13 at the time. And I, of course, as soon as my parents let me, I let my sister pierce my ears. And it just, there was something fascinating about that. And then as I got older, I took an interest in it and sort of learned some things on my own. And then in 2006, I actually helped a friend do a tattoo party right here in Millbrook. He had his own shop, but people like to do it privately, have their friends over. So I went to help him out just as a friend. And the son of the woman who was hosting the party was begging his mother to have his eyebrow done. And
During the party?
during the party, yeah.
Were you sober?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You sure?
So all day he's begging. No. She wouldn't let him do it, and then she finally broke down and said, I will let you do it." And my friend, who was an experienced tattoo artist and piercer, knew that I was very interested. And at some point, he said, "Yeah, I'll show you how to do it," and he never did. And that night, he said to this young man, he said, "If you let John do it, I won't charge your mom, but I'll walk him through the steps and all that." And so we did that, and it came out perfect. And that was really the only hands-on instruction I ever got. I just, once I was able to do it, I was so into it. I was addicted to wanting to know more about it. So endless videos of YouTubes. There's books out there. I learned about microbiology. I learned about anatomy and physiology through books. I found some nursing books. I went online. However I could get information about it to learn on how to do it properly, did. I didn't want to be one of those people that was just randomly, calling friends over to say, "Let me try this."
Well, is there a licensing procedure?
Not in New York.
No?
There's not. There are in other states. I believe New York City is the only area where you have to have some type of medical personnel on staff. And that could just be someone, I think, that is an LPN, or it doesn't have to be a doctor or someone. Some type of licensed medical person has to be on your staff in order to do tattooing or piercing.
Right.
But in New York State, at least in Dutchess County, you just need a Board of Health certificate for your shop. That's it. You don't have to have any kind of licensing. You don't have to show that you went to school. You don't have to show any proof about your knowledge for tattooing and piercing. You can just open a store, and as long as the Board of Health approves the bathroom and the water situation and all those things, you're good to go. Which is kind of scary that there really aren't any restrictions on
It
that.
actually makes it's surprising that New York isn't one of those.
Yeah. There have been some things where politicians wanted to regulate ink usage. It was all going to be single shot ink thrown out, which got to be super expensive, as opposed to using a small bottle in a little disposable cap, and the rest of that was thrown out, but the remainder of the ink was stored properly.
What would the ink be used for?
I'm sorry?
What would the ink be used for? You're talking about piercing?
Well, I'm talking about tattooing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, just in general with body modification, there really aren't too many restrictions or permitting or licensing in New York State. But
what about piercing?
The same. It's the same.
I've always, from a pedestrian point of view, I've always put them in the same bag, so to speak, piercing and tattooing.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They are. You don't see too many tattoo shops without a piercer, and you really don't see any piercing shops, strictly piercing shops, unless maybe, down on a boardwalk or something like that, where there's, they're doing noses and belly buttons all day long, with a real high turnover rate. But yeah, they definitely go hand in hand.
I see your arms are well tattooed.
Yeah. Pretty well covered.
Yeah. Very nice. You have tattoos, Sean?
Yeah, I have two. I have one on my left side calf and my right shoulder blade on my back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're not gonna ask you to show us.
No,
Those.
not today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. But no, I got my the one is my family crest when my grandfather on my dad's side passed away, and then this is when my sister passed away. There's a Celtic cross on my back with flowers that turned into a bird, and that was her tattoo. She used to have flowers that turned into a bird on her
I'm
back.
just curious. Do you remember where did you go to get them?
This one I was 19 on my leg, the family crest in Albany, and then there's a really good tattoo artist. Her name's Supernova down in Astoria, Queens, and she did the one on my back.
Shawnee Boy lived in Astoria for many,
Huh?
many years.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and that
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
no, and then my goal, what I would like is a third one, but this one would be for me. Like the other two are like kind of dedicated to people for certain reasons, and then this one I'm gonna get one like up here. I don't know what yet. I'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah, I got freckles. That's enough for
Yeah.
me.
T, you don't want to maybe get a neck tattoo?
Yeah, the neck tattoo. Yeah, that'll go. You know what? I should get a neck tattoo that covers my 3 chins.
Yeah.
Make some use out of the damn
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No, it's the end thing now. You look good. You look good.
But you do piercings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing them since 2006.
And I know you have a very good reputation.
Thank
I've
you.
heard people around talk about how well you do them.
Thank you.
In fact, yesterday, as we were recording this, was Halloween. But the Halloween before, he traditionally has a party at his house for Halloween, and somebody came there to the party that wanted a piercing while they were at the party.
Yeah. Do you do that? Are you willing to?
Yeah, I have an in-home studio.
Oh, okay.
Let me give you a quick history of,
Yeah.
or a quick timeline of my piercing career. Is the first couple of years when I was learning, I took a lot, like I said, I took a lot of time to learn about the microbiology, the anatomy and physiology, the mechanics and the aesthetics of how it all works. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it might be to do it properly and to really know what you're doing so you're not hurting a client, or you're going to give them a piercing that's going to last them forever. It's not going to reject and migrate and have problems. So the first couple of years was learning about a specific type of piercing and then finding someone who wanted that piercing but knew I was learning and was willing to be patient with me.
So you had your own guinea pigs.
I had my own guinea pigs. Yeah, thankfully, I never botched anybody. Even when I was just learning and getting started, I feel because I took my time to learn things properly and not just do it and then learn from my mistakes. I think that's been a big part of my success. And then in 2012, I partnered up with a shop in Poughkeepsie that's still in existence, and I was there for a few years. And then decided to leave to work at another shop on a different part of Poughkeepsie, and it changed hands once, and then it kind of just didn't work out. But at that point, I'd been doing it for several years, and I had built up such a clientele. I didn't need to go to a shop and possibly sit there all night and nobody shows up.
Is that what they rely on mostly?
Yeah,
Just
well,
random people up the
yeah.
street?
Yeah, it's
Is
different.
that why there's so many of them right near bars?
Could very well be, yeah. Piercings are more, that's more of a, you know what, I've been wanting to go get my nose done, I'm going to go do it. As opposed to tattoos where it's a huge process.
Yeah,
someone has to go there ahead of time, talk to the artist. The place might have multiple artists, so they're going to pick who's the better artist for them. And then, sizing.
They scheme it out.
Yep.
Right? They give you what it would look like on
Yeah,
paper
they
first.
They sketch it
all
out.
the sizing, the placement, that all makes
Is that what they did for you, Sean?
Yeah, for both of them. That you go there and like my first one was my family crest was on a plaque, so like they kind of just sketched it. It wasn't like this complicated thing. But this on my back, I have a Celtic cross, but like we like sketched it and created it and talked about it, and like what kind of bird do you want? What kind of like how's it? Like it was a real intricate concept, and like I met with her twice before I actually had it put onto my.
Well, that's what John was saying. But so you decided to establish a studio in your house because he does, like I say, he does have a lot of. He has a phenomenal reputation.
Well, the studio at your house, that's your sole place now where you just do piercing?
Yes. And it's a dedicated, for anybody watching and listening, it's a dedicated room in my house. It's not I have a studio at my house and then I pull out a little, tackle box at my dining room table.
A TV tray.
Yeah.
Sit down.
No, it's a room that's closed off. It's only used for piercing.
And even without any licensing requirements, I'm sure it's like a hygienic, sterile.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything is wiped down with antiseptics and antibacterial wipes, all that stuff. I have a medical grade sterilizer. Nothing is reused with the exception of the tools, say the same type of tools, forceps and things like that would be used in major surgeries. When they're done, they're put in a container, then they are washed and sterilized properly, stored properly. This is not a joke for me. This is people's lives and health. And I take that very seriously.
Which is why you have the good reputation.
I hope
Plus,
so.
you do it very well. But I just want to ask you the effect of COVID last year and this year on your business. Was there any?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was trepidation about someone getting a piercing during the COVID.
Yeah. A lot of times I'm right up in someone's face. And
like you are with me right now.
Yeah. So during COVID, there was none of that. Tattoo artists and piercers were devastated financially.
I can imagine. Yeah. Sure.
It took a long time for them to get back to being able to get to work. But since things have lightened up, since the mask mandates have gone away, certainly since the vaccinations have come along, people have started to feel a lot better about all that. So my piercing business has picked up quite a bit since then, which has been wonderful. And thankfully, I've had a full-time job, even though we were shut down for several months. Once we could get back to work, we did go back to work. So it's not like I had to depend on piercing for an income. And I know a lot of people that really suffered through that actually did.
Well, I'm sure even now, it has relaxed, but we're still not out of the woods yet. I'm sure there's a lot of precautionary things that are implemented, right?
Yep. Everybody's still wearing masks. Mm-hmm. It's not like the old days. Pre-COVID, where
getting to be the old days.
Yeah, like when I was working in actual shops, girls would love to bring 3 of their friends to come with them to go get their nose done, and then there's their 3 friends, the client, and myself in this little room.
No, yeah,
that doesn't happen anymore.
Right. So it's just you and the patient.
Right.
Would you consider the patient? You and the client.
I honestly, I treat my clients like in a medical setting. I don't tell people what they just got pierced. I'm very professional when it comes to when people have to disrobe, because there are certain parts that people want pierced that you can't see normally. Mm-hmm. This is not a time for me to ogle at someone. It's a procedure. It's my art form. I would never disrespect it with looking someone up and down.
No, yeah. Well, that's just creepy. Yeah.
That's just creepy, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure you come across that kind of a thing, yeah, with piercings. I don't want to get into. Well, maybe I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sean wants to.
No, it's not. It's more of would you say like a lot of your piercings are, let's say, below the neck?
Are a lot of my piercings below the neck?
Yeah, like a nipple piercing, or I'm
gonna say 60-40. 60 is above the neck.
Okay.
And
nose and ears.
Nose and ears.
Or lips, maybe.
Yep.
Or,
lips, tongues, not so much anymore.
You did mention eyebrows before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tongues were big like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah. Even when I started in 2000,
tongues. I'm sorry.
Even when I started in 2006, really, it had already started to die out, the tongue thing.
Didn't they? They got affected easier, right? Tongues would get affected more.
They could, yeah.
Yeah. I remember,
because we have to eat.
Yeah.
It's not like just an ear where nothing happens up there.
Yeah.
So you can clean it when it needs to be cleaned. People that get their tongues done, not all of them, a lot of them don't really take care of them properly, where after you eat, you're supposed to, wash with some oral antiseptic, avoid smoking, avoid spicy foods, avoid dairy, all that stuff. That happens for the first few days, but once that initial pain and swelling goes away, they do whatever, and then
when your tongue is pierced, does the thing that's in your tongue, and I know I sound ignorant, but I am ignorant. That's why we're having you here, is to learn about this. Is that removable?
Yes.
Or okay, so you can. What you can?
Yeah, it's just a bar. It's a surgical steel grade surgical
steel.
grade stainless steel.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes they're titanium. It's just a bar with threads on the end, and then a ball, and it just tighten the balls on it, and it stays in there. There's all
So-
different lengths and gauges.
It can be removed and cleaned. And
Yeah, I
You're
remember.
not supposed to remove it to clean. You're supposed to keep your jewelry in when you're cleaning it. It's better to keep your jewelry in to clean than to take it out, because especially at a new piercing, because now you're allowing other things to get inside.
where the actual piercing is.
Right, where the tissue's been pierced.
Yeah,
That makes sense, Sean.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have some. Not me personally, but a couple of my friends got it done. So I remember watch like when they first got their tongues like double the size and all swollen, and then the cleaning, and then I you went out back when I was like 19, 20. I dated a girl with a tongue ring, so I remember it vaguely, but yeah, I remember it being kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Like, take care of it.
Yeah, it takes a lot. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
Like if you've been tattooed, you know that it's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong commitment because it's on you. But just the initial part is a commitment to take good care of it. And the more initial care you do,
What's involved in doing that?
in taking care of a tattoo,
Yeah. In the long run.
in the long run, nothing other than sunblock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the initial healing,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So from when you get the tattoo to when it's completely healed,
right?
there's a lot of things that go into it.
Well, it's
Right.
going to fade over time. It's naturally going to fade whether you take care of it or not. But if you take care of it, it's going to last longer with the look.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I understand. Okay. But there's no long-term care that needs to be done to it.
Other than sunblock,
Yeah.
I don't know too many people that actually take the time to do that constantly, unless they're gonna, if they go to the beach or whatever. We're gonna do that whether we're tattooed or not. But there, if you really do take good care of it and you do use sunblock often and you hydrate yourself, your tattoo is going to look better and be more vibrant and just last a lot longer than someone who doesn't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the same. I don't take great care of my tattoos in the long term. I do at the beginning. I am by the books at the beginning, and then like most people, I'm like, well, it's
healed.
It's healed and it's already there.
It's not going anywhere. Like the one on my right shoulder, like on a day to day, like sometimes I forget it because you don't really see it. Like, it's not like I'm like, I don't walk by the mirror anymore to check it out. Like, I got a shirt on most of the time. I forget it. I even have a tattoo sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. You kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
So
I've seen tattoos on people that, to use the word invasive, I mean, they're in locations that I would think are invasive, all over the face, near the eyes, on the eyes.
Yeah.
I can't even think about getting that done.
It is a commitment. It's something that you have to be willing to live with. It's pain that you have to be willing to take during the procedure. And sometimes people just forget that eventually they're going to have to get a job.
Yeah. It's also, John, I don't know if you can, I'm sure you can, like, it can get somewhat addicting.
Sure.
I got my first one and then 10 years went by and I got this one. And then I was just like, like within 6 months, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want another one. Like, I'm like, and like, I don't think my addiction to tattoos is really an addiction, but like,
it may be addictive, but you haven't put it in a conspicuous spot yet.
well, my next one,
You
I
got
want
one
right
on
here.
the ankle. And one. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to teach. It's going to say, fuck off.
Yeah. You don't do facelifts, do you?
No, but I have had people ask me to pierce the back of their neck so they can cinch it and pull everything together.
Nice. That sounds like an easy fix. Yeah. Mm.
So, back to your piercings.
Sure.
What's one of the toughest piercings to do?
Honestly, the tongue, it seems to be one of the hardest. But what's really becoming popular, it's to help someone medically, and it's called a daith, like piercing or like faith, but with a D, daith.
Yeah.
And it's your inner part of your ear right here. And a lot of people that get that want it done specifically for migraine relief.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
wait, this little piece right here, that kind of like it.
Not the part that protrudes, not this first part. Right?
Okay.
This little flap is called the tragus.
Yeah.
But the part that, if you follow down, it curls into, sorry, the wrong way. You go around the helix and follow down to the very inner ear,
Oh,
that
yeah,
last
yeah,
bit
yeah.
of cartilage before your tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That is called the daith. And there seems to be some type of pressure point there, like an acupuncture pressure point, that when you put a piece of rigid jewelry through there, it creates constant pressure and people get migraine relief. And I've had some people say,
Is it nerve blockage or they don't have a scientific answer? Or?
I don't know too much about the science part, that part of it. The only thing I can tell you is people started coming to me for that, and I just did it as their piercer. I didn't really know. I don't know what the medical part of that is, other than I've been told, and I've seen a little bits of things here and there that say it works sort of like acupuncture. But I've never had anybody that didn't get any relief from it. I've had people that have said, it helps a little bit, or, they might not be as bad, right up to a very good friend of mine. His longtime girlfriend had a migraine every day for almost 4 years.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's got to be torture.
And when she left my studio, she was migraine free and has been this had to be since 2015.
Oh, shit.
So 5 or 6 years.
That's incredible.
And then there's everything in between. And I've learned more about it over time, like a slightly thicker jewelry, a heavier gauge, and doing both sides seem to give the most relief, as opposed to a real thin piece of jewelry on one side doesn't seem to.
Maybe the precise location of it as well? Or?
Maybe. I mean, everybody's ear is like a thumbprint. It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. For me, I just try to center it between where it starts and where it begins.
The first thing I thought was maybe tinnitus could be relieved by that too.
Perhaps. I've also been told that it's, the tragus, the first part, is good for anxiety and weight loss. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But
Fill me up. I got both.
But I have had people seek out my work for that. And I tell them, I don't know anything about that part. I'm going to do the piercing part. I wish you the best. That part is.
But you have gotten feedback.
I honestly have gotten no feedback about weight loss and anxiety.
No, I meant for the migraine.
For the migraines, yes, feedback all the time.
Like, well, if you had to throw a percentage on that in terms of success rate, in terms of the migraine,
I've never had someone say they've gotten no relief. And any of the feedback I have gotten was anything from I've had mild relief or less migraines up to I've never had one ever since you did that.
That's interesting. What do you think, Sean?
It's awesome. I mean, what an interesting topic to like. I'm actually just visualizing what it would feel like to get that fucking pierced. Oof. Feels like I mean, my first instinct.
You might be more willing if you had migraine. If you had like that lady that had 4 years of migraines every single day, or say, screw it, give it a shot.
Knocking me out and then doing it, either or whatever. But is that a pain? That must be a painful spot for people.
It is. It's there's a lot of pressure involved in that piercing. It's not just the needle going through. The mechanics of it are very difficult because you're trying to take a straight needle, send through a sort of a curved path because they got to kind of go in and out. And I use something called a receiving tube, which is a metal straw about 2.5 inches long, and it's a sterilized straw. And then it's slanted on either end. So you can get a good angle in on somebody. So I can go straight, and then the needle deflects on the inside of that receiving tube, and then I can kind of turn everything out. I've tried curved needles and all that stuff. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. But it's everybody says it's more pressure and anxiety of the whole thing than it is pain.
Okay.
Is there any kind of local anesthesia they can have? Or some sort of pain numbing?
I'm not allowed to do that. You have to be a licensed medical practitioner that can do that. Just as a piercer, no. I can use store-bought things like
or shot glasses.
Yeah, like Bactine. The little bottle with the green spray top.
Over the counter.
That has lidocaine. That doesn't do enough to make a difference, really.
It's like that when you have a toothache. What's that crap?
Or gel or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you recommend marijuana?
No.
For what, Sean?
What? No, like say if someone's concerned, like I'm worried about the pain, like marijuana is legal now, so like hey, you might want to get You might
I'm going to answer no to that because I honestly never even thought of that.
Okay.
And I wouldn't.
Well, you would need the same kind of licensing. I would think. I'm talking out of my ass, but it's a medical application of
No,
the marijuana.
marijuana is now it's legal. It's not. It's past medical.
Oh, you're just talking about using
Yeah, yeah.
recreational
If someone,
marijuana to alleviate
yeah, to alleviate
pain.
pain. Yeah,
I wouldn't. The only thing I would recommend to anybody um, is aftercare. Right? I'm not a medical professional. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to know anything about that. I know about the aftercare. The only thing I can tell someone leading up is be relaxed. Don't have a lot of caffeine coming in. Drink a lot of water. Same thing if someone was going to get tattooed. Right when I worked in the shops, that's what we would recommend to people. Eat. Make sure that you're in a good mental state. Shower. Be comfortable. Be relaxed.
And stay hydrated.
And
I would
stay
think.
hydrated,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's almost precisely. We did a podcast with Lily's Medi Spa
Hmm?
across the street from us, and she had word for word the exact same preparatory regimen that you have to go through, especially the hydration.
Yeah.
No caffeine. Exactly what you just
Yeah,
said.
it's
Yeah.
very important. It's very important. It makes everybody's experience better. It makes the client's experience better. It makes the piercer and or tattoo artist's experience better. Because the last thing you want is a bundle of nerves sitting in your chair, freaking out. And,
Yeah,
it puts you on edge too because you think, am I going to hurt this person more than needed because they're going to jerk their head or
Yeah,
you're trying to tattoo somebody and they're jumpy and they move.
Yeah, being tensed up will not be good.
No, not
for
at
the
all.
procedure. Yeah.
No, and any of those procedures, I think naturally anyone's going to be a little nervous and anxious about it. Nobody particularly likes pain, but hearing that ahead of time, relax, I'm going to take great care of you, do all those things, you're automatically building a rapport with your client, and the client's getting the rapport from the artist, tattoo artist, or piercer, and it just puts everybody at ease naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Now, just out of curiosity, what if someone's listening to us now and wants to contact you?
Okay,
Can we give out your email address or?
Well, I really just use my work email for Central Press, which I don't want to mix the two, and I'm certainly not going to just give out my phone number. Go on Facebook, just look up John McDonald. This ugly mug will be my profile picture next to my girlfriend. It's a black and white.
Well,
and
can I put a link to your page at the
you
bottom
can,
of this?
you certainly can, yeah, yep. And just message me, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions, make an appointment, talk to you with any questions, concerns, or ideas.
So maybe that third tattoo, John can recommend someone.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no,
top
for
shelf.
sure. Yeah, when it finally clicks,
This way you don't have to go to the mall, Sean.
Yeah, I'm going to some back alley place. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, John will hook you up with something nice. Yeah. What kind of a tattoo you looking for?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
Well, the first two seemed significant. One when your sister passed away, and one when your grandfather passed away.
yeah. So
You waiting for your co-host to die, and then
no. This one's gonna be. This one isn't about like a tribute or a dedication to somebody. It's gonna be for me.
Well, think about it.
Oh yeah, I have. It just hasn't clicked. I'm close to. I have a couple ideas, but it'll come when it comes.
We're actually really lucky in the Hudson Valley to have such great tattoo artists at our fingertips. There's some really really good shops in the area. Some no matter what industry you're going to be in, there's going to be the shining stars and then the ones that are not so good. There's not a lot of that around here. There's a lot of really really good tattoo artists, very respectable people, that do this. Everybody needs to make a living, but do it because it's their art and it's their passion, and they work very hard at being the best at it. And just because of the area that we're in, we're super fortunate. So when you're ready, there's lots of good choices out there.
That's awesome.
You don't have to go too far from where we are to find somebody that's just top notch.
Very cool.
I've always said, similar with like a doctor, where they always have their diploma on the wall, but nobody ever asks them, where in class did you finish?
Yeah.
First, 48, what?
Yeah. Well, if I go, you're gonna come with me and get something, right? Get something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll I'm a shot glass guy. You don't need marijuana. I'll give you a couple of shots.
You know what you get? Nah, I don't want either. But
You won't even see that friggin' tattoo till the next
yeah.
morning.
You should get the gritty hour guy tattooed on your shoulder or arm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm turning into him physically. What else do you want? I'm like a 3D tattoo here. Yeah, I'm turning into the gritty owl guy, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every hair that comes out every shower.
Yeah. Do you know, John? Do you know who the gritty hour guy is? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I had that drawn for me by a cartoonist back in the aughts, whatever you call it, like 2008.
Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah, I remember that.
Not realizing, in the present tense, I'd look
Yeah,
a hell
you're
of a
like,
lot
look at
like
this fucking crazy guy. Now you're like, wait, I am that fucking crazy guy.
Yeah, well, I need the Pepto Bismol.
Yeah.
That's only a few of the many hats John wears. As I said at the onset of this podcast, you also play guitar.
No, I
No?
have a guitar,
John owns a guitar.
Good.
but I've been playing drums.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
and I should know, Sean.
I mean, I'm just saying, but whatever.
I started about 30 years ago playing drums and singing as well,
Oh,
and
nice.
I DJ.
What? So about 9 questions came, but I'm not going to ask them all.
Sure.
What type of music do you like to play?
That's tough. Mostly rock, hard rock. I've done the heavy metal.
Death metal, that type of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
kill your mother, burn your dog,
Yeah.
kind of stereotype stuff.
But it wasn't good for business.
No.
But I've also done the pop rock thing, lipstick rock, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, so you're all on the spectrum.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
I think I like to play harder music than I like to sing. I don't really have a big growly voice.
We do have a bar in the neighborhood here called Nooch's.
It's around the corner, right? Around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Sure.
fact, I might
I've been
have.
there
Well,
once
maybe
or
I
twice.
walked you by it. I know you're on the wagon, but
Yeah.
John is a DJ there as well.
Oh, okay. But
Karaoke, or he does the karaoke.
he does that karaoke thing.
The karaoke.
So the karaoke nights, a standard karaoke night with standard karaoke songs and all that.
Yeah, we do Wednesday nights over there. This week we didn't because Halloween was coming up, so we did Scarioke on
Okay.
Saturday night, which was a great success.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's what you think it would be. It's a lot of people having a good time, eating some food, having some drinks. Eventually, someone's going to get up and sing "Sweet Caroline," and the whole crowd's going to join in. And
Yeah.
and the girls are going to get up and they're going to sing Shania Twain. And
Okay.
I found from experience that the more Guinnesses you consume, the better these people sound.
Yeah. I mean, that's the underlying. I think that's the underbelly of karaoke, right?
But there's never been enough Guinnesses in that joint for me to get up and sing.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever? Go ahead, John. I'm sorry. Go.
The great thing about karaoke, I think a lot of people forget this, is it's karaoke. It's not an audition on The Voice.
A lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, there are all those people that think that they're trying out for The Voice.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Go there for your own reasons. Just have fun.
Yeah.
I've heard so many times, how can you stand listening to these people howl like cats? I enjoy it. If you've got the guts to get up and do that, have at it. It's about having a good time. It's about
absolutely
stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you've wanted to do. And there's plenty of people that have come up and like, I'm going to butcher this song, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fine. Have a good time. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
There's some people, and I've always enjoyed going there. John does it very well, and but there are some regulars that they must do the rounds of all the karaoke places.
Yep. They come with their little list of songs, and they tell you what order they want.
There's a karaoke circuit then.
Yes, the Hudson Valley tour they're on. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I have 2 karaoke moments. I've done it a few times in my life. I can't remember all of them, obviously, but one, my brother had a house party, and my buddy brought a karaoke machine, and in front of the whole party by myself, I sung Whitney Houston's, I can't remember whatever song it was, but I got a standing
I will always love you.
Something like that. I got a standing ovation. I mean, I was shit-faced, and then me and my 2 buddies, when we were in Astoria, we got on stage and we did the old school song Lollipop.
Yeah.
And we got another standing ovation. So
I
retire after that.
Would you fellas mind if we take a 2-second break?
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Should Take that as a yes. Thank you. Hold
No
on.
problem.
So thank you for taking that break. I appreciate you being so willing to do
Yeah,
that, Sean. That was very nice of
you
you.
got man. I was in a rhythm. I felt like I lost it. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
No,
sorry. We'll try and
yeah,
regain that.
yeah,
But go ahead. You're singing in front of
yeah. I
people.
mean, yeah. I mean, but like I, like I did it because I was like I needed, like what John was saying, like I was having fun. We were drunk, like getting out of yourself and just doing something a little bit different. So I do appreciate that about karaoke.
Yeah. Would you be able to do it sober?
I don't know. I think so. I think now at this point in my life I would, but I mean I can't sing for the life of me. But I would get up there and let it roll.
Well, you're gonna have to come out on a Wednesday night.
I realize I see where this is going. I see this going. And Josh, you like, listen, we
We'll
have a
get you tattooed. We'll get you pierced, and we'll get you singing in front of people. But he's been on the wagon
yeah,
for how long? You been on the wagon?
5 years and
Wow.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
should be in Seattle by now.
4 months or something.
Not that you're counting.
Well, we'll have an iced tea together because that's
Yeah.
usually what I'm drinking.
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah,
out.
that's yeah. I can have a seltzer and still have fun. But I see where this is going. John's gonna be like, we've got a special guest tonight. Sean, all the way from Westchester, is gonna sing a Whitney Houston song, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
so
Well, at least you had the courage to get up there. I would never have the
you want?
courage.
I was
To,
thinking maybe we could do a gritty hour duet or duo.
no,
Whatever.
because I feel like I'm a kind person. I wouldn't subject anybody to my voice,
Yeah.
which sounds kind of like the Staten Island Ferry in reverse.
Yeah.
I think you guys should do Captain and Tennille.
Yeah.
There you go. There it is. There it is. Get
Uh,
Millbrook rocking off its feet.
Well, I remember one time your godson and I were kind of three sheets to the wind in
My
the Kalani
godson?
Rose. Huh?
My
My
god.
godson.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
said my
Did I
godson.
say your godson?
Yeah.
No.
I'm like he's
Christopher
11.
and I,
He's 11 years old. What the fuck you guys?
we're like three sheets to the wind down in the Kalani Rose in Manhattan,
Yeah.
and we sang Thunder Road
Oh, that's cool.
a cappella. No help from John or anybody. And for some strange reason, we had our choice of stools at the bar after that.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird. It's
Cleared the whole friggin' place out.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
John, do you ever get up and sing on your karaoke nights or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just feel like singing, so I'll sing. But a lot of times, people will ask me to sing something. They, I can actually sing.
Yeah, that's
And,
why I was asking because obviously you're a singer. So
Yeah, and so people that have heard me sing, oh, can you do that song? Whatever, or can you try this song for me? So yeah, I do that from time to time. I mean, it's not about me; it's about them. I'm the DJ. I get hired to do a job. It's for these people to have fun. I of course have a good time as well. But if there's not a lot going on, there's those off nights where it's rainy or there's to start back to school or whatever. It's kind of become an off night, and sure, yeah, I'll sing. I like to do it.
Actually, when you go there, John has huge, thick binders of songs you can pick.
Yeah.
yeah.
He has a vast. Is that something you buy, like a package, as the DJ?
Not the books. I printed the books.
No, I mean
Working at Princeton.
the access to the songs.
Yep, you buy. I have two software programs. One's for just DJing, just playing music, and the other one is for karaoke. And then you have to purchase songs. So you can buy blocks of however many, and then as new songs come out, you can buy new songs. But I haven't bought a song in I don't know how long because of the internet. If someone says, "Oh, this song came out a couple of months ago, I want to try to sing it," YouTube.
Yeah.
It's available on YouTube.
The
So,
karaoke version.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can always buy like the YouTube version where it just shows the lyrics. Always.
Yeah,
always,
exactly.
not buy. You can always find the YouTube
Yep.
version as the.
There's-
So and then you pipe that through your software into the sound system.
yeah, I just put it on my regular internet browser on my laptop and into the sound system, just like what we're doing now. We're coming out of the computer into
Yeah.
some
We're
type-
kinda. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
He has a better laptop, obviously. I haven't done a podcast yet without my fingers crossed, Shawnee boy.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm not in studio, so I don't think I even think twice about it. I'm like, oh, this could be great. And you're just sweating. You're like, the mic's not working. This isn't working. I got like the guy next to me. I'm fucking going nuts.
Yeah, and you're having a peanut butter and jelly
Yeah,
sandwich.
I'm
right?
like, yeah, give me 5, give me 2 minutes.
So, but you play the drums in a band, or
I do. I haven't done the band thing in quite some time. Well, I haven't been a drummer in a band in quite some time.
You ever sing while playing drums?
Yeah. In fact, that's how I found out I could sing. I was in this band in around 2008-ish, and we couldn't find a singer that could commit. You know, it was we kept going through singers, and we wanted to rehearse. The band wanted to rehearse, and it's kind of boring just playing the music part. And I knew all the words, or the ones I didn't, I would put them on a computer, and turns out I could sing. So I ended up being the singer and drummer for a while, and then you know what? That gets old quick, especially when you gig, because now you're the drummer that has to bring all the drums, and you're the singer that has to bring the sound system.
Yeah, that blows.
Yeah. It gets old quick. Plus,
I only sang on one song that we did. We used to do the weight, and Crazy Chester was my verse, which was hard enough to sing and play.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Kudos to Levon Hellman yourself. Yeah.
I always thought, and you know, drummers who sang, I always had like, you know, not that I have some like great experience with it, but I have a lot of respect for that. Like Phil Collins, I always thought like did an amazing job of playing like really strong drums and singing.
Well, live they had a drummer, and he would do the featured drums.
Why do you got to take away Phil Collins from me?
It's just so funny. The other day, I happened to watch a reaction video. I watched that.
Yeah.
I got no life. Of In the Air Tonight, and it was a live version, and he's walking around with the microphone, you know, strapped to his ear like you have, and then he sits behind the drums for the drum part, you know, the drum part in the Air Tonight. So,
just for the solo,
he did that part, but
yeah.
the drummer, there's always a drummer there. Even during Genesis days, they had a drummer when he sang.
Well, that's a lot. That sucks. So the drummer does the work. He comes in and gets all the spotlight, and then dips, and now the drummer goes, fucking slow.
Like if you listen to Behind the Lines, I don't know if you know how well you know Genesis. There's a song called Behind the Lines.
I know it.
You know that song?
I know it.
I might if I heard it. I just don't know the name of it.
Well, it has a long intro, and in the live version. There's actually two drummers playing. It's Phil Collins and somebody else, and then you just hear the one drummer when the actual song starts. Yeah. And Phil Collins is he's at the microphone.
So maybe I should Phil Collins isn't what I thought he was? Is that what's happening here?
No, he's an excellent drummer and an excellent vocalist. Yeah. He just doesn't do both at the same time or that off.
Okay. So I was misinformed.
Like Don Henley is another example. He was actually the drummer for the Eagles.
Yes.
And like John, found out he could sing, so they...
I was not the drummer for the Eagles.
No, but like John, they found out he could sing. Yeah. Probably because somebody didn't show up one day, you know.
Well, if you were the drummer for the Eagles, you wouldn't have to carry your own shit. You'd have a roadie to do it out for you.
Well, this is true. Yes. So, what do you? But you haven't played in a while in a band.
As a drummer, no.
As a singer,
up until about a year before COVID, I was in a band called VIP, and we were fantastic. Go on YouTube and look up V period I period P period at the Chance. And we had somebody come and record us one night. Good video, not great audio. Everything
never
sounds flat, even. Yeah. But it was cool. It's great. I'll pull it up every now and again and just.
You never hear the bass when someone records you live, especially on a phone or something.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie, that sound system is all about bass. The bass drums will push you to the back of the room. And it just gets lost. It gets lost in video recording. The guy did a great job. He really did. But it's unless you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on some kind of great recording system, it's just going to get lost. But anyway, that was that band VIP. We were together for a while. We did a lot of great shows. We played the Chance a lot. We did a bunch of shows in the area, and
you played the drums or just singing?
I was singing in this one.
Okay.
And then the guitar player from that band, he and I and a bass player from another... Oh, I'm sorry. It was also the bass player from VIP. We just recently got together to jam to see how things would go. And it was good. Things were going good. And then I think once we started to have all this nasty, nasty weather, all this rain and stuff, for some reason it just stopped happening. That we got together. I don't know why. That just was the timeline. But I had recently thought it's time to call these guys up because I was really having a good time getting back behind the drums again. shaking off the cobwebs and fine tuning my chops. So we'll be back. I'm sure we'll do something. This is that time of year where everybody's lives change, especially if you have kids. With back to school, getting schedules change, and then everything from the summer stops happening. So you've got to do things to your house
Transition.
to transition into winter, and then winter comes like, oh, it's cold out, it's nasty out. But I'll bet you by March we're hitting it hard, and I got a feeling that we're going to be playing out this summer.
Good.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
I'm
What sound
looking
are you
forward to
playing?
doing it. I'm sorry?
With this new group, what are you doing? Like heavy metal, death metal? What kind-
We kind of were throwing everything out. We had done anything from some alternative stuff to pretty heavy stuff, just to see we wanted to do a power trio, just to see how the three of us would do. And having me as the singer and the drummer, both of these guys, I've been the drummer in a band with, and I've been the singer in a band with, but I've never been the singer drummer with both of these guys, just the one guitar player for a little bit of time. So we're kind of just getting a feel of how it would go. And I think we had sort of figured, all right, we can't do anything too intricate because I'm older now.
Yeah.
Doing the singing and playing of the real intricate music is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hear
Well,
you.
we touched on a lot of what John does. I know I'm going to edit some stuff out, but we touched on his knowledge about tattooing. We touched on his piercing, the landmines in Yugoslavia. What else did we not edit out?
You said Yugoslavia?
The guitar playing, the drumming. But I guess your primary gig is Central Press.
Yeah.
Where do you know the physical address of Central
It's
Press?
3293 Franklin Avenue in Millbrook, New York.
So it's behind, actually right behind the building we're sitting in.
Yeah.
And they've been there since 1888. In fact, you know what I did show you, Sean, was that old printing machine.
Yes,
right?
Right.
I was up there. We were doing a podcast in the summertime, and we did a couple live, and you took me back there, and it was such a cool vibe, like that the storefront. And it really
Yeah,
was
it's a
fun.
nice place. It looks like a nice place to work.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a really nice place. It's an older building. I've heard anything from it. It was a bakery at one time. It housed horses. It was.
I think a lot of the old buildings in this village were horse related at one time
Yeah.
or another. In fact, the building was sitting in, I think, had something to do with hay or saddles or I don't know, whatever.
Something with horse shit.
Something with horses.
It was definitely a bakery. We know that for sure. And if you look at the front of the building, you look up at the peak on the gable end. There, you can see there was once a window, and then block and tackle that came out because they would put several bags of flour on a pallet and then crank it up with a rope and then bring it inside.
Oh, well, I have something similar up here on the second floor. I'll show you when we wrap
Okay.
up. Yeah. So Central Press, Sean, if you ever need any printing done, in fact, shameless self promotion.
Is this where you got the gritty hour done?
So yeah, they did the Gritty Hour poster and the business cards.
I got both. Oh yeah.
Where's that enormous thing? He had a friend of his make an enormous Gritty Hour guy. Where the hell is that?
Do you want me to get it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Before we sign off, yeah. Let's talk about Sean while he's not at the microphone.
I kind of knew that was coming.
I don't know how he got this thing done without it getting pixelated, but it looks good. It's like a thing that straps to his chair, but it has like a Mardi Gras feel to it.
Oh, that's cool.
I had complained in one of the podcasts that we couldn't see his Gritty Hour guy poster during the podcast. So one of his friends had this thing made and sent it to him.
That's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
So it's like digitally printed on some Chinese company told me, but to be honest with you, it's kind of a baby ass.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Technically, that guy's our first sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of my very good friends. So
Yes. Well, John McDonald, we appreciate you coming by today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The real reason I wanted you here was to learn more about piercings and tattoos. It's always fascinated me. I've never had a desire to get either, but I've always been fascinated by the techniques involved and what's involved in getting it done.
I think you should come over for a piercing just to see what it's really like.
All right.
Listen, T, if you get your tongue done, I'll be there to hold your hand.
No, all right.
I think Tom would look good with his septum done.
The septum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Boy, bull ring.
Is
Right?
that what a
yeah,
septum
yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's not what I thought a septum was.
Well,
You know.
you can't see, but I've actually basic. I've had one ear has two holes and the other one has one hole. I had my ears
You
pierced.
know, I forgot to ask you if you had any piercings.
Yeah, when I was I don't know 18, 19, I am done. I had like 2 and 1 or something. Like you can, the holes never fully close up. You can still see them, but
So,
obviously,
but you don't wear jewelry in them
no.
anymore.
I stopped. Maybe when I was like 22 or something. I took them.
Would you have earrings or something?
Yeah. Two earrings on this side and one, or vice versa. It was 3 total. 2 on one side, 1 on the other. I can't.
But they clashed with the dress you used to wear, so you stopped.
Is that what we're doing?
Is that where we're going?
Is that what we're doing?
I couldn't
No,
help
man, just-
myself.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's it's just that it was the times, man. Hey, man, it was the fucking late 90s, man.
Yeah. Not like today where it's everything's buttoned down and conservative.
Yes.
Everything was wild back in the 90s. Yeah. That's sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
He just didn't laugh. He didn't laugh. He's like, yeah, I got it, but it wasn't that fucking funny.
All right, man. Well, John, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And,
I appreciate the time.
We'll
Thank you,
put
John, man.
we'll put a link to your Facebook page on the
Yeah,
podcast,
sure.
and also the info for the Central Press.
Okay, it'd be great.
So, and we appreciate you coming by tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank
Have a good
you,
night.
Shawnee boy. You take care of yourself.
All right, T.
All right. Let me know when you're getting that tattoo.
I'll see you at the piercing.
All right.
All right, man.
Take care.